And welcome in everyone to LoneStarVarsity.com. I'm Shannon Wilson and this is Zach Long, and it's time for us to preview the upcoming season on the South Plains, and today we start with classes 2A and 3A. Zach?
Yeah, it should be fun. Of course, now everything has a new name. They've changed up all the classifications. Going to make it real fun for all of us, but it's created some new rivalries, some new districts, and we're excited to get after it.
Let's start with 2A Division 1.
You know, you look right there, and I think right up the road, New Deal and Abernathy now in the same district. That should be a fun one right there. Garrett Royal, the good quarterback, back for Abernathy, and New Deal, they were one of the best teams in the playoffs last year. Chris Vasquez back on defense. Baylor Bean going to run that offense October 10th. Watch those two. They're going to play each other. And also in that district, Olton. Good team, second-year coach Ken Torbert right there. Solid defense. They could play into that district as well. Should be a fun one.
And Zach, I know we have some intriguing storylines in Division 2.
Yeah, you look down there, and I think you got to start with Seagrave, Shannon. I mean, Corey Kyle, a running back last year as a sophomore, over 3,000 yards. That's a hard number to ignore. If he stays focused and an intricate part of that team, they're going to be tough to beat down the stretch. They got lost last year to eventual state champion Wellington in the playoffs. I know they would like to get past that level this year.
And what's another team to watch in 2A?
I would have to pick out Rawls if I had to pick out any of them. I think they've got enough of a core talent back, and they're in a very unpredictable district with Quanah and a few other teams. Don't be surprised at all to see the Rawls Jackrabbits win that district, and if they get a good draw in the playoffs, maybe do a little damage there as well.
Now let's switch our focus to Class 3A. I see Muleshoe and Littlefield on your list.
And that's always fun when we see them on our list because those are two of the best rivals in our entire coverage area. They're back in the same district, and they're all both back, I think, at an elite status to where that game means a lot. Those two communities love to go into the other community and beat one another, so I think that's going to be a fun rivalry. David Wood, he's got Danny Campos back at quarterback. He was a great sophomore campaign. I think he'll be even better as a junior. And of course, Littlefield, they've got DeModrick Moore. He's going to be their feature back this year, a kid who did a lot of damage when he was an underclassman last year, had another back there. He's going to be the full feature this year. Should be fun to see those two teams meet up.
And what about the Shallow Water Mustangs?
Shallow Water is probably one of the biggest questions of any team that we cover. Brilliant team last year. Jarek Black at running back, Wes McCutcheon at quarterback. They lost a ton. They lost a lot of seniors on that team, them and Denver City both, now in the same district. One loss apiece last year, and they're two of the biggest unknowns. But we visited Shallow Water. They have a good attitude. They think they have a lot of speed. They think they have a strong secondary. Should be a fun district to watch. And the other unknown in that district, of course, is Brownfield. The situation with Shacolby Hill, they're not going to have him this year, and they got to find a quarterback. But good news, Shannon, they have enough of a core around. If they can find someone to run that offense, Brownfield could be in a discussion in that district right with Shallow Water and Littlefield.
And Zach, in Division 2, we have the Idalou Wildcats.
Yeah, Idalou. What can you say about them besides they just get it done? That is a tradition and a powerhouse. The kids grow up in that system, and I think that system will serve them well this year. Zach Kirkpatrick, good defensive end last year for Idalou. He's going to go over to the quarterback slot. I've had a chance to watch them practice. They just passed the eye test. Good veteran disciplined team under head coach Jeff Lofton. I think Idalou will be in a position to do some damage in the playoffs this year.
And that will do it for our look at the classes 3A and 2A. But for now, we bid you farewell. Be sure to pick up our football preseason tab on August 24th. And we'll be back with the other classes later this week. For Zach Long, I'm Shannon Wilson, and this is LoneStarVarsity.com.